Hey everybody, this is Darren Ripley from the Davidson Academy in Nevada. Welcome to the Anja S. Greer Conference on mathematics. Kind of excited to do this. This is my first time doing it. Um, this is just an intro video. This is just a whole getting started thing. We're gonna build the foundation for you to feel comfortable, this is gonna create a nice little resource for you down the road if things go sideways on you, which they can. A lot of what I'm gonna show you is excuse me, a lot of what I'm going to put you through is what your students go through on a regular basis. You're going to have a little cognitive disequilibrium, which I think sometimes I've been teaching math for 18 years and I don't get real uncomfortable doing mathematics anymore. And I sometimes forget and lose empathy for my students with their cognitive disequilibrium. And every time I learn a new skill, like I just started flipping my classroom a year ago, and there was a whole lot of confusion and going sideways going on. And I think we have to sort of empathize with our students with that, and it's a really good exercise for us to experience that. So I'm going to get you started with some real basic stuff right here. Talk about some of the software, the internet, resources that are available, and then what you have sort of in front of you as far as the Camtasia and the Bamboo, using the Bamboo tablet. Again, just basics. And then I'm going to provide you with the resources to go digging around to really start to dial in what you would like to do in your class, what you're interested in. All right, so let's start at the very, very beginning. The very first thing that we're doing is we're going to create a file. Now, I remember when I first started doing this, when I'm learning something, I like everything where I can get to it very, very quickly. For those of you that are at all technophobic, or even if you're tech savvy, you may like your stuff in your documents, which is great. Put it wherever you'd like. Oh, by the way, I'm teaching on a PC, clearly, because you can see the windows sitting right in front of your face, the little icon. It's going to be variations on a theme as far as the Mac is concerned. My home machine is a Mac, so theoretically I'm bilingual, sometimes but more so than in others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to store all of my files, all of my work in this folder, and I'm going to have subfolders and all kinds. Actually, I won't have a subfolder for this, but I'll show you my subfolders that I use for my other courses. So this is going to be Exeter Conference presentation. Now, for those of you that have ever done any sort of web design using Dreamweaver or any of the other available softwares out there, you know that you stick everything in a folder because your software, which in this case is Camtasia Studio, is going to point to that folder. And if any of the media falls out of that folder for whatever reason, if I forget to store it there, then the computer's going to be like, files missing, no can do. You get the big X, the red X mark, and everybody gets sad. So this folder right here that I just created becomes home base. Now, just real quickly, I'm going to show you in my documents everything that I've done with Camtasia. Like I did a Camtasia project for a university for my PhD coursework. This is last year's. This is probably the best one to show you. Within that folder, notice this is my Camtasia projects 2012-2013. I've got a calculus one, all of the chapters, that I created presentations for in here. If I crack open a chapter, notice I've got two different types of icon, which we'll discuss later down the road. This is a project icon. Notice it says project. This is a recorder document. So the computer, don't freak out when you see two separate icons. What you do need to realize is that this guy right here is not a project. You can't upload this to the internet. All right, this is a project. This is what you will upload to the internet. Also notice what I did. I'm not as consistently as I would like, but I have different names for things. As I was dialing in, as I was fine-tuning my process, it behooved me to start naming things differently so that I knew that a recording like this guy right here, all I did was a recording document, versus a project were different things, and I didn't make silly errors around them. Okay, so I'm going to put this guy away right here, and this is going to be home base for us, and I'll show you how to use that effectively. Now let's take a peekaboo at the internet and see what our resources are. So, oh, look at that, I was looking that up, I have no idea. I'm going to go to my YouTube here. Notice this is my personal, right here, this is my personal YouTube account, and but your YouTube account and your Gmail account are linked. They're married. If you have an account with either, you have with one, you have an account with the other. So clearly this isn't the one that I want, so I'm going to sign out of this guy. and I'm going to get into my professional one. And this is where all of, I don't want to use the same Gmail for both, and you'll see why here in just a minute. I have enough junk mail in my email that I don't need to be sifting through the stuff that gets sent to me from my professional account. So I just created this is called Think779 in my Gmail, and then what the heck was this? I always forget. I have to look at my iPhone, but let's see if I got lucky. Oh, winner. All right, so this is my DA Math channel. I know, or excuse me, my DA Math YouTube account. Now, let me show you what I got here. If I look real close, if I click everything good that happens for me when I'm trying to do things in YouTube other than watching cute bunny videos and people break bones, it happens up here. All right, so under my YouTube, this is my channel, my video manager, my subscriptions, etc., etc. Over here, if I want to sign out and use my personal, for those of you that don't have 2 accounts, you might want to make a second account just using your professional information. The one thing that I highly recommend is do not link this YouTube account with your Outlook. Like this is this Outlook account. I'm on my work machine right now. Don't link them. In other words, don't have your Gmails from this account be sent to your professional one, or you'll just be inundated with a bunch of email that you don't necessarily want to deal with at school. So I keep all my emails separately. Some of you may like to have it all in one spot, but I'm not a fan of that because who knows what's going to come through. All right, let's have a look at my channel real quick. My channel, when I click on that guy, is called DA Math, which is convenient. And what I got here is got recent uploads, popular uploads, recent activities, all that good stuff. If I want my videos to be listed, look at this. This is the way to do it. If I want to see, look at this. How many videos have I created? Hours and hours and hours of content. And it's got sort of just a real abbreviated comment about my analytics. We'll get into how to use these in the class down the road. Again, we're just talking about basic stuff right here. So got my analytics here, how many people have watched it, how many views, likes, dislikes, all that other stuff. But more importantly, I can poke around, I can find a video in here, I can watch the video. That's one cool thing about the video manager. Like if I want to watch the 9.3, apparently 44 people watched it, nobody commented on it, likes, dislikes, etc. If I click on it, I don't even know what this is. It's part 3, so I probably should have clicked on part 1, right? Just to figure out what I'm doing. So
let's take our time.
It looks as though I'm doing a little action.
Let's identify what N is going to be.
So
remember,
this is me yapping at the kids. Okay, and I will explain sort of the best practices in terms of flipping a classroom. And again, I'm gonna definitely whip this pony throughout the week. You don't have to flip your entire classroom. I highly recommend against it. As somebody who did flip my entire classroom, it is a lot of work. It's a ton of work. So as I stated in the email that I sent out to you guys before the conference, take your hardest lessons. Take those lessons that you just, when you're sitting at the board and you're yapping at the kids and you've done the discovery project with them and you've worked in groups and you've done pair share, and now it's really time to get down to the guts of the material. Like, for example, demoivs. Like they're going to come up with it. They're not going to come up with demoivs. At some point, you got to sit there at the board and yap at them. And when I hear myself talking to my kids sometimes, lecturing to them, I just know they're jamming pencils in their ears just so that they don't have to listen to me anymore. These are great lessons to flip for the kids because then they can listen to them when they're ready, not when they're tired or when they're angry at their girlfriend or when they just don't care. They can listen to it whenever they want. They can watch it as much as they want for down the road when they're studying for exams, when they're looking at midterms, things of that nature. They're great. That would have been, in hindsight, a really great place to start with maybe 10 or 15 of my lessons that I to be honest with you, that are just drudgery for me to teach. And if it's drudgery for me to teach, then chances are the kids are suffering through it as well. All right, so again, enough of my high horse. Let's get out of here. So we got a little Gmail. Let's see if I want to go to my Gmail. Let's go to the top. Let's go back up here to YouTube. Notice I'm still in his DA Math. All right. If I want to go to my Gmail account, now this is something that's important because this will throw you off. Notice I've got Gmail in my my menu right here, so it's easy to get to. However, as long as I am signed in as DA Math and not as Darren Ripley, whenever I click on Gmail, I'm going to have to change accounts if I want to get to my, on this machine, if I want to get to my personal versus my flipping account. Okay, so enough of that business. Now, here's what I'm going to do.